Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, everybody. This is Each One Reach One. Back today with another video. We're gonna have a little series, maybe 2 or 3 videos. It's probably how long it's gonna take to get this out. This is a very important set of videos to get out. I got some information that I want to get into. This is not new information, but it's currently information that we don't speak about or circulate within the Hebrew Israelite community. You know, the Gentiles and heathens, they've been having this information for a long time. They've been talking about these things, but it's not something that's within our circles. And it's very important that we bring it out and we get into it. So take this, circulate it around to all your brethren, all your camp friends, all your Hebrew Israelite brethren, especially those who you believe might have a chance of being corrected in their false ways of being Old Testament only Israelites. Yes, this right here, this is directed towards those who are Old Testament only Israelites, which I was once one of you. It's still many of the elect who are out there following these false doctrines, so we got to bring you out. All right. So many of you are going to need this right here in order to understand the folly of your ways. So listen up. All right. Put on your spiritual cap. Put the knowledge of discernment. Ask for knowledge of discernment, for wisdom and understanding. Pray for visitation of the Holy Spirit, that the Most High pours out the fruit of the Spirit to you, all right, and removes the veil from you so that you can understand. All right. Again, there shouldn't be much talk or conjecture after this. This should be the nail in the coffin for the Old Testament only Israelites. They believe there is no YAHAWAHSHI. He's a figment of our imaginations. He was a product of the Romans, Flavius Josephus, King James. All of them conjured him up in their own imaginations in order to corrupt the children of the Most High. That's what they say. The Bible doesn't corroborate that belief. It's just what they say. They have a false belief rooted in their curse by the Most High for rejecting his son. They say there is no son. He doesn't have a son, that this false god, this false idol was created in order to bamboozle us. All right. This is what they say. And we got to dispel this. You know, we've tried doing it with sound doctrine and it doesn't get through to them. Again, but so this isn't really for them, because we know it's impossible to make straight that which the Most High has made crooked. So this is for those of the elect who are still on the fence. They're trying to hop over. They're trying to come back this way, but they haven't heard the final thing that they need to hear in order to let go of that old belief that's leading them to death. All right, you keep clinging on to that covenant with death, the law of Moses, and you know. I'm here to do my part. So we got to get this discussion going. All right. Let us give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach YAHAWAHSHI. All praise is due. Grace, peace, and blessings to my family, the elect of Israel. Peace be with you. Glad all of you guys are with me today. Again, this is important. This is important. Haven't heard anybody else bringing this out. Doesn't mean it's not out there. Doesn't mean our folks aren't talking about it. Just nobody I've seen. No camps I've seen. No Israelite groups, no Israelite individual at all I've ever seen bring up this information. But again, it's not new, because the heathens, the Gentiles, they've been having it. They've been talking about it. They know about these things, right? So we're going to talk about it. It's time for this to become part of the Hebrew Israelite, the real Hebrew Israelites. It's time for us to make this part of our conversation. All right. So the topic, YAHAWAHSHI. Yes, YAHAWAHSHI. Hamashiach in the Old Testament. Old Testament only don't believe he's there. They think he just popped up in the New Testament. We can provide all sorts of doctrine. They don't get it. They don't understand regeneration, so they don't understand him having previous instances in the Old Testament. They don't believe any of the Old Testament prophets that prophesied about him coming. They don't believe the Most High when the Most High said he was going to send him, that he was going to come. None of these guys understand that the New Testament is the manifestation of the Most High's word. It's his word being made good. Without the New Testament, the Most High is a liar. His word was not made good. There's a lot of things that he said was going to come about that didn't come about if there is no New Testament. The things that he said he was going to do, he did not do if there is no New Testament. You made the Most High a liar. And we know he is not a liar, just men. So let's go ahead and straighten these men out. We're going to begin here with Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. This is the time of the end, my friends. Many are running to and fro right now, and knowledge is being increased. The Most High did not put all of his eggs in one basket. He did not give all of the knowledge, all of the wisdom, and all of the understanding to any certain group of people from any certain camp back in the day, and to give them, and that they've been passing down from generation to generation to all of their disciples and so forth. The Most High does not work that way, right? We know in part, so we prophesy in part. He gave them just enough information to start waking up the people, to start doing the work. He had a job for them to do. He doesn't give his enemies too much information. And you law pushers, sorry to tell you, not really sorry to tell you, but you guys are the enemies of the Father, are the enemies of Hamashiach YAHAWAHSHI. And you Old Testament onlys, yeah, you definitely are enemies of his, and you don't mind. You have no qualms about saying it. You think you're standing up for the Most High. You think you're being his shield, his protector, the defender of his honor. All you're doing is disrespecting the Most High. You're disrespecting the Father, disrespecting the Son, but you don't believe that he had a son. You don't believe that he had a son. You don't believe that everything that we got in culture came from him, right? You believe it, right? We have a culture and heritage of, you know, the firstborn son getting an inheritance, been given what belong to the Father, right? Right? Right. And so where do you think that came from? Who taught that to the people? Where did they get it from? How did they learn it? Where did any of that come from? Where did those customs come from? Came from the Most High. He led by example. He didn't just say do this. He didn't just teach them to do these things, teach us to do these things. Let me include myself. He didn't just teach us to do these things. He led by example. He showed us the way. Yes, he has a son. Yes, like most good fathers, he left his son an inheritance. Yes, he leaned on his oldest son, his firstborn, right, to look after the younger ones. He gave him a high position and gave him a lot of responsibility. Out of the abundance of his heart, he gave his son the world. Like most of you parents out there, I'm gonna give my child the world. I'm gonna give my son, I'm gonna give you the world. Oh, my baby girl, I'm gonna give you the world. Daddy just want to give you the world. Yeah, you want to give your child the world. You don't, but the Most High though, that's beyond him though, huh? He wouldn't want to give his child, his favorite, his firstborn. He wouldn't want to give him the world, huh? Don't think he could, don't think he would, right? Because that's giving his glory to another, right? That's crazy. But let's continue this, right? We're gonna flesh this out, right? So bear with me, you guys. It's gonna ramp up. It's gonna be a few videos, okay? It's gonna ramp up. We're gonna start off. We're gonna start off warm, and then we're gonna really cook. You're gonna be properly edified. There's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna be on your mind that you didn't have before. It's gonna be a lot of sleepless nights for you law pushers out there who believe that, you know, there is no YAHAWAHSHI, there is no Hamashiach, no son of the Most High. You're going to be convicted. You're going to be condemned in your spirit, and it's going to be hard for you, you know, but it is what it is. We got to bring it out. All right. Isaiah 46:8. Remember this and show yourselves, men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Now I'm going to read that again with a different inflection in my voice, with putting different emphasis in how I pronounce this, therefore giving a different meaning. Remember this and show yourselves, men. Bring it again to mind, because we once knew this. O ye transgressors, you law pushers, you transgressors, believing there is no son, believing that you can have a stake and have some sort of part in your salvation. Remember the former things of old, for I am power, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Do you believe him? Is he good about his word? Does he lie? Right? He doesn't, right? So he said he declares the end from the beginning, because he has to, in order to convince us that he is, right? Declaring from the beginning. Do you believe him? And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done. Do you believe that he did that? Do you believe that he could? Saying, my counsel shall stand. Do you believe that his counsel shall stand and that he will do all his pleasure? Do you believe it? Well, you have to believe in the New Testament, because that's the fruition. It's the manifestation of his word, of him doing his good pleasure. But again, you're going to find that out. If you don't know it now, you're going to find it out over these next few videos. So bear with me. You might want to tune in to all of them. You might want to hold your scoffing to the end. I'm telling you, hold your scoffing to the end. If you care anything about your own spirit, you might want to hold your scoffing to the very end. I'm telling you. All right. This right here is going to fuck you up. The death blow. All right. You better get yourself right. All right. Let's keep it going. John chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, capital W, meaning noun. It's a person. And the Word was with the Most High. And the Word was the Most High. Listen, in the beginning. All right. Listen to the theme. In the beginning, because we're talking about the beginning. Our study is going to be on Genesis, right? We're going to the Old Testament to find out, is YAHAWAHSHI, is the Hamashiach, is he in the Old Testament? Does the Old Testament speak of him? Because he says it does, but you say he's a liar. He says the book is written of him. He comes in the volume of the book, right? But you don't believe. In the beginning was the Word. He was in the beginning. And the Word was with the Most High. And the Word was the Most High. The same was in the beginning with the Most High. No, you guys are confused because you don't understand spiritual things. What's being said here, he abides in the Father. He is in the Father. The Father is in him. That's what he's talking about. Okay? In the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was Hamashiach. In the beginning was YAHAWAHSHI. 1 John chapter 1, that which was from the beginning, YAHAWAHSHI, which we have heard, YAHAWAHSHI, which we have seen with our eyes, YAHAWAHSHI, which we have looked upon, YAHAWAHSHI, and our hands have handled, again, YAHAWAHSHI, of the Word of life. Word capitalized again, person. YAHAWAHSHI, the Word of the Most High, the Word of life. Okay? Got it? Yeah, man, but this is the New Testament. Okay, we're going to get to the Old Testament and see if it all comes together. 1 John chapter 2, verse 14. I have written unto you, fathers, because ye have known him that is from the beginning. We have known him that is from the beginning. Right? The beginning is the theme. It's all about the beginning. We're going back to the beginning, okay? We got to go back to the beginning to see if the Most High gave word of his son, told us anything about his son in the beginning. You say he's not there. He's not written of him. He's not in Genesis. He's not in the Old Testament. That's what you say, right? Okay. So now we're gonna get into this, right? We're gonna hear a little bit about the New Testament, and we're gonna hear it from a Gentile. You know, our people got to hear from Gentiles, because if one of us says it, they won't pay attention to them. We're just bug out Israelites, right? You know, so we're gonna listen to him speak. You know, he's gonna walk us through breakdown of first part of Genesis. That's all he's gonna get, and that's all that's necessary, right? To prove the point. This is how great the Most High is. You're about to find out how great and amazing the Most High is and what he did. He told you in the New Testament that he kept a mystery hidden from many people, and that the mystery was revealed in the New Testament times. His son, the mystery. He kept it a mystery by taking our knowledge of our heritage away. He took our knowledge of our language away, so that we wouldn't be able to put these things together. But the heathens, they did. They understand these things, and it's time for us to understand them as well. All right. We got old John Costick here. He's gonna give us a breakdown of a portion of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. All right. YAHAWAHSHI in the Bible. YAHAWAHSHI in Genesis, the first word of the Bible. Keep game and prepare to get your mind blown.
How Hebrew works. But I know you probably don't know one bit of Hebrew, except for what little maybe we've talked about. Don't worry. It all comes together quickly. Here's their alphabet. Their Aleph is the first letter. They're bait, aleph, bait, alphabet. That's where we get it from. And the Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Ta. 22 letters. Hebrew reads from right to left. That's difficult to get your head wrapped around. I don't want to say it reads backwards because this is God's first language.
No, it ain't difficult for us to get our heads wrapped around, John. We understand that the Satan flips everything on its head. He flips everything upside down. The heathens, the enemies of our Father, of our power, flips everything upside down, inside out, ass fucking backwards. No. We ride with you. We ain't lost yet. Nobody's lost just yet. We ain't lost none of these Old Testament owners. Not yet. We haven't lost them. So let's keep it rolling, John.
This is God's language. It reads forward. We write backwards. Everything we do, Satan has twisted things around that now we're doing it backwards. God tells us to use the moon to tell time. And what do? Satan switches it around and we're all telling time by the sun. And now our calendars are so off from God's Hebrew calendar that all the special feasts and appointed times, they mean nothing to us.
They mean nothing to you because, for one, the Most High got rid of it. You know what I mean? He got rid of it. And two, you can't even, it's impossible for you to keep the law. It's impossible for you to keep any of these days without having the ability to do sacrifices and offerings and so forth. But you can't even keep it according to the day because you're not even positive of the days. The days are off. You're keeping the wrong days. You're observing the wrong days.
We miss all of this. So we've got to get back to doing it the way God originally wanted us to do it. And he originally put it in Hebrew, so let's learn it in Hebrew.
Learn it
anyway, so there's your aleph bait, your alphabet. And here is Genesis 1:1. I figured we should going to start reading the Bible. These people say, oh, well, I've read the Bible and it doesn't make sense. Yeah, well, let's see if you did. What if you missed this?
Yeah, we've missed it.
I'm going to read it through once. Remember, they read from right to left. It's Bereshit, Bara, Elohim, Et, Hashemayim, Va'et, Haaretz. Bereshit is in beginning. Bara means created or fattened. Elohim, God, El. Anytime you hear El, God, you'll hear it in people's names like Daniel, my judge is God, or Nathaniel, a gift of God. Or sometimes it begins with El, Eliezer, God is my helper. El is God, Elohim. Et, this is an untranslatable word. We'll deal with it another time. We'll talk. That's another whole video. Hashemayim, the heavens. Va'et, this is another et, just like this one. It's and, whatever et is. And haaretz, the earth. But Bereshit, let's just look at this one. And let me show you something really cool about Hebrew and how it works. Here's your first Hebrew word. Aleph bait. Notice it's the first two letters of their alphabet, the aleph bait. Okay? Every Hebrew letter has a picture associated with it. So an aleph, its picture is the head of an ox. You can see the snout, you can see ears, you can see horns. It's the head of an ox, and it represents strength and power.
So we're getting the Paleo Hebrew mixed with the modern Hebrew to give us a complete understanding. Let's get it, John.
A bait, its picture is a tent. And the letter bait is also the word bait, and it means house. Tent, house. By the way, our letter A comes from aleph. And our letter B comes from bait. God is always first, always, on everything. So, if aleph is strength and bait is house, tent, you have aleph bait, the strength of the tent. The strength of the tent is the father.
The tent is the father, the strength of the house.
Abba. You can pronounce it phonetically, and you can figure out its meaning. That's unbelievable. That every word in Hebrew does this. So
Most High deals in double and triple entendres. The master of the double and triple entendres. Not your favorite rapper, the Most High, the highest, the master of the double and triple entendres. You had no idea that the language rocked like this, right? That this is how he communicated. See, this is why we're missing so much. This is why we're lacking so much understanding. It's this bastard ass English language that we got that got us all jacked up. If we understood our own language, we would understand these things a lot better. See, so we got to go to our enemies to come get it, because he preserved all of our treasures with them. He put us into a deep sleep, made us forget everything, and he preserved the information for later, to be given to us later by giving it to them. They've just been holding on to this information until the time appointed by him to give it back to us, right? He had to make them believe that we aren't the people, that they are the people, that everybody can be included, that spiritual Israel is a thing, and so that they would feel free to publish the information, so that they wouldn't hide it, because they would hide it if it belonged to us, if they knew it belonged to us. But believing it belongs to them, that they're included, they freely and gleefully publish it. That way, that's how we're able to get it. That's the Most High. He planned this from the beginning.
but what you need to learn is you learn your 22 letters and then learn their pictures and what is associated with them, and you're figuring out Hebrew words. Here's one more. Beit, well, we already know beit, it's a house, it's a tent. By the way, you've heard the word beit before. Even if you spoke no Hebrew, you know beit. This is in Beit Lechem. Lechem is bread. Beit is house. Beit Lechem is house of bread. Jesus says, I am the bread of life. And he's born in Beit Lechem, the house of bread.
Bethlehem, for those who don't understand what that translation is, that's Bethlehem. And see, look at the deepness. House of bread, right? The bread, he's the bread of life, right? Right.
How funny. And here we have Resh. A Resh, its picture is a head. If you turn a Resh around and read it this way, it would be our letter R. So now here you have Beit Resh. You sound it out, bar. And what is it? It's the head of the tent. Well, who's the head of the tent? Well, in God's thinking, it's the Son. And isn't that how it worked? Didn't God give authority to the Son? He gave all authority to Jesus. That's unbelievably cool. So the head of the tent is the Son. The strength of the tent is the Abba.
Are the tent, right? The head of the tent, our head. Our tent, our head is the Son, YAHAWAHSHI. The strength of the tent, Abba, the Father.
Bar, by the way, you've heard the word bar mitzvah. When you are bar mitzvah, you are son of the law, mitzvah. You have to follow all of those 613 laws that God gave Moses on Mount Sinai. So, now that you know how Hebrew works, let's look at this first word of Genesis 1:1, Bereshit. I've written it big here, but it's the same here. It means in beginning, okay? Well, each one of these has a picture associated with it. By the way, notice that each of these also have a number associated with it.
Matria.
God deals on levels, and levels, and levels, and they all intertwine and connect, and there's sub-themes and themes, and they all interconnect, and everything points to Jesus.
Everything points to YAHAWAHSHI.
Don't believe me? Watch.
If you don't believe me, just watch.
Bereshit, the first word. Remember, we're reading from right to left. You can sound it out. Beit, ba, resh, r, aleph. They actually say it's a silent letter, and you don't. It sort of gives the A sound. I don't know why they call it a silent letter. It does it is interesting that Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, yet God does not begin the alphabet or begin the Bible with an Aleph. He begins it with a Beit in Bereshit. Interesting. So, and even the shape of Bereshit, notice it's closed to heaven above, it's closed to earth below, and it's closed to infinity past, but it's open to the future in the direction that God reads. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, so this is Bereshit, and R is Ra, Resh, Aleph, Ah. The Sheen, it's a Sh sound. Yud, Ya, and the Ta is the T sound. So you sound it out. Bereshit. And if we look at their ancient pictures, remember, you learn 22 letters, you learn 22 pictures, and you can figure it out. A Beit, we already said, was a tent. And a Resh, this was the head. Uh-oh. Oh, not bad. And Beit Resh, we already know this much. That's a word we've already learned. It's bar. Bar is son. Oh my goodness. He starts the Bible. Bar.
Very first word in the Bible is a reference to his son. You can't make this shit up, people. It is a reference to his son. Kiss the son, lest he be angry. Let's go.
I told you, everything points to Jesus. He's the first two letters are pointing to the Son.
First two letters.
Then you have Aleph. What's Aleph? Aleph, we're going to put it in blue because blue would be the color of God. Because this is God's letter. It's the one he's out in front. He doesn't take everything. He gives all authority and everything to the Son. He starts the Bible with the Son. So this is God. He's the head of, it's the strength. God's letter, Aleph. So what do we have in the first three letters of Bereshit? The first word of the Bible, Bereshit, which means in beginning. It's not in the beginning, by the way. There's no the in here. When we learn more of Hebrew, you'll see it's not there. It's just in beginning. And believe me, I know so little Hebrew, but I'm learning, and whatever I figure out, I'm going to pass on to you. Okay, so the first three letters, it's Bar, son of God. Oh my goodness, that's pretty cool.
First two letters, we get the word son. He begins with son. Very first word is reference to son. And then with the third letter, the third character, he reveals even more. The son of who? The son of who? The son of God. But there is no son of God, John. I don't care what the Hebrew says. The Old Testament only said, and they know better than anybody else knows, John. They know. All right?
We come to the Sheen. It has an ancient picture also associated with it. Its picture is, I'm doing it in black. Teeth. It looks like a W. In fact, Sheen, it's the Hebrew letter that looks more like a W. But it's actually teeth. You see devouring teeth? And anytime you see a Sheen, it represents destruction and devouring. Okay? Teeth, destroying. Interesting. Okay? In fact, look at this. If you just take these two letters right here, Aleph, Sheen, that is a word in Hebrew on its own. That word is Aleph, strength, strong, powerful. Sheen, destruction, teeth, ultimate destruction. It's Aish, fire. In fact, Aish, whenever Moses was up on Mount Sinai, and who does he the burning bush? It's the Aish Sinai. The Aish is fire. Sinai is bush. The Aish Sinai, the fire in the bush. And it's just a cool picture of God. He's the fire. He's the judge. He can destroy. He's the fire. But the bush isn't consumed because he's also merciful. Unbelievably cool picture. But here he's got his Aish. He uses this name on Mount Sinai. But you can see how Hebrew works. You get these, you can figure out what the words are, and they sort of define what they are. A Yud, the Yud, its picture is a hand. And we'll do the hand here. They actually draw it sort of like this. It's an arm. Okay, you can see an arm coming down and coming out in the hand. And it represents work or a hand doing something. Yud. It's the smallest Hebrew letter. When Jesus, in the New Testament, he talked about not one jot or tittle will pass from the law before all are fulfilled. He didn't say jot. He said yod. He's saying not even the smallest letter in the Hebrew alphabet will pass from the law. So that's the yod. Very cool. It's the 10th, number 10. He begins his names with yod, which is very God. That's a God thing. His name Yahweh begins with a yod, or Yeshua begins with a yod. His city Jerusalem begins with the yud. He's almighty, unbelievable, almighty God, and he uses the smallest letter for his name because he can. And then we come to the Ta, and the Ta, its picture it's the letter T. Ta, hear it? So you T. Or it's a cross, which you put your mark, your Ta. That's what it is. So the word Bereshit, if you sound it out, you have Bar, the son, Aleph, of God, is destroyed by his own hand, willingly, on the cross. and you atheists say there's no God, and that man wrote the Bible? He doesn't.
Old Testament only say that that man wrote the Bible. You want to give the heathens credit for this? You want to give the Gentiles credit for being this genius, this smart? And you say it's us that are giving the glory of the Most High to another? You guys are fucking bugging. But let's continue.
This is with every word, people. Every word. Anyway, that's just really cool. And remember, this is the word in beginning, Bereshit. And what's really cool, if you go to the Isaiah, the prophet, the major prophet Isaiah 46:10, he says, I am God, there is no other, and declaring the end from, you ready? Are you waiting for it? Are you waiting for it? He declares the end from the beginning. That's how you know that's how you know who a God is a God. If he can
boom goes the motherfucking dynamite. He literally declared the end from the beginning, from the word beginning, in the beginning of time, the beginning of everything. This is the Most High. This is our Father. Can you dig it? He literally told us the end from the beginning. YAHAWAHSHI is coming, marked the beginning of the end. The end was literally foretold in the word beginning in the book. The very first word of the Bible. In the beginning of the beginning, he told us the end. He revealed it. You guys are gonna have trouble sleeping. That's for sure. You're definitely gonna have trouble sleeping. Y'all gonna have to reckon with this. You feel me? You're gonna have to reckon with this. Just a quick second, Israel. Bear with me for a second. I'm gonna step away from my computer for a second. I'm gonna pause the recording. Gotta go out here and grab my package, man, before the Porsche Pirates grab my shit. Y'all can dig it. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Thanks for holding on and bearing with me for a second. It's not like y'all went anywhere. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys, except get ready for the fire. Get ready for that barbecue. You do what I'm saying? Just go ahead and prepare yourselves for the barbecue. You guys are in trouble. You guys are in trouble. That's what I know. And I know, like I know, like I know. All right. But let's go ahead and get part 2 of this video.
Hey, shalom, shalom. It's your Dutch Uncle John here. We were talking about last time finding Jesus in Genesis.
In Genesis.
And
we found him, right?
We had shown you that he was
there.
Very much so in the first word, Bereshit.
Right there in
and
the first
today
word
we're going to cover 2 more words. I figure if we only do 1 word per episode, how will we ever get through Genesis? But the new word today is...
Old Testament onlys are so stupid. I can hear you out there in your desperation. You're panicking. You're panting. You're out of breath. Your mouth is dry. You're like a thirsty dog right now. You don't know what the fuck to do. Your brain is panicking, right? So I can hear you trying to cling on to anything that you can to try to not feel the sting of your judgment upon you. Because I know you can feel your condemnation descending upon you. You're convicted. You're convicted. And you're thinking about all the times and all the different ways you disrespected his son. You gotta be, right? You gotta be thinking about it, thinking that you were pleasing him, that you were pissing him off. It gotta hurt you to understand that your entire doctrine was false. It's a lie. Your belief system is trash. You were set up. You were set up. The Most High hates you. He set you up to die. That's why he got you clinging to the law, to die. That's why he let you believe that his son didn't exist, to kill you. The elect, we know better. See, he preserved his elect. He gave us wisdom and understanding. He revealed these things to us. But to you, he left in gross darkness so that you couldn't convert and be saved. He wants you guys to keep that same fucking energy until YAHAWAHSHI arrives and deals with you. So I hope you do the same thing. I'm not here to convince you guys of anything. I'm here for those of the elect that are still on the fence and need to hop all the way over. All right, because we need the elect to be sealed. We need everybody to wake up. All right, this is for you. But let us continue.
Is bara and Elohim. This is Genesis 1:1. It starts out Bereshit, in beginning. Bara, it's means to create, created, or fattened, or filled. It's used 3 times in Genesis 1. It's used in Genesis 1:1, where God creates the heavens and the earth. It's also used... Is that better? It's also used when God creates the fish and the sea creatures. And it's also used when God creates man. What's interesting about this verb bara is God is the only one who baras in the Bible. So that's interesting that it's a verb that only he does. Let's take a closer look at it. I've got it written here on the big board. And here's the other word we're going to do today is Elohim, the 3rd word of the Bible. But looking at the bara, we see it starts out bait. And we've talked about bait last time. Bait was the tent. Resh is the head. And Aleph. Aleph is that strength, the head of the ox. Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It's the one that's silently out front. Yet then he begins the Bible with a bait, pointing to the sun. In fact, where have we seen this before? This word bara. Well, if you notice, it's the same first 3 letters as Bereshit. That's what we covered last time. He's repeating Beit Resh Aleph. Beit Resh, the head of the tent, that's sun. Aleph, God, Son of God. If you happen to miss it in Bereshit, he repeats it in the second word. Created is Beit Resh Aleph, Son of God.
I was like, do you hear me now? Do you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
So, I think we know what this book is about. Yep. It's about the Son of God.
About the Son.
It says in the Gospel of John, John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And it said, all things came into being through him, and apart from him, nothing that came into being came into being. He's saying it right here. The word created is Son of God. He's letting you know that Jesus, the Son of God, is the creator.
Yeah.
And all things were created by him, for him. In Colossians 1, it says, for by him all things were created, both in heaven, Hashemayim, and on earth, Haaretz.
Getting the heart beating out there, law pusher. Old Testament only, I can hear you breathing heavy out there. Fucking you up. Y'all getting fucked up right now, ain't you? Oh boy. Oh boy. Look what's hidden in the language that we don't know. The Most High told us the truth. He revealed it. He revealed it. Right? Yeah, but because you know you're not studiers and you have no spirit about you, you couldn't discern these things. You couldn't understand what we've all have been downloaded via the Holy Spirit, those that belong to him. We hear his voice. We heard his voice. Before this is just confirmation to make sure we know like we know. All he's doing is saying the things that we already know. Those of us that are of the elect, we already know this. We just didn't know it was written here in the book this way. We didn't know it was written in the Hebrew this way, but we knew because the Father communicates with us. He let us know the truth. Now he's verifying the truth. He's making manifest right now, like he said he would do. He's going to reveal the wisdom. He's going to prove that those false prophets, that all you guys have little to no wisdom. Your wisdom will not stand. It is not standing. It is being broken down and destroyed in this time. The Most High is making manifest who has the oil, who has the truth, who the elect are and who aren't. He's making a division of the people. He's making it known who belongs to him and who does not. Right now, a lot of you out there are scared because you're realizing who you are. Deal with it.
Visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions, rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. So he's letting you know right here, bara, the Son of God, created.
Again, you guys are telling me the Romans wrote this in the New Testament, but it's corroborated here in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. All that you heard being talked about in the New Testament are the same things that was talked about in the Old Testament. You just didn't know it. You had no ability to hear it, to see it, or to understand it.
Very clever.
Very clever is the Most High.
Okay. So this is bara. So far we have Bereshit, bara. For those who missed the Bereshit, let's just review real quick. Bereshit. Beit Resh is son. Aleph is God, Son of God. Shin. By the way, I was pronouncing this Sheen, but I'm finding out I was pronouncing, well, I'm not sure. I've heard it both ways, but since last time I filmed, Shin, I think, is the preferred pronunciation, and that's how we're going to pronounce it. So, the Son of God, Shin is teeth, destruction, devoured. The Son of God is destroyed. Yud, smallest letter, is a hand, your works, your handiworks. So, the Son of God is destroyed by his own hand, willingly. And Ta, its mark, your Ta, your T, Ta, you can hear it. It's a cross. And it represents the covenant. And
God does nothing without first revealing it first. He's revealed everything that he's going to do. He's let us know. He always lets us know. For you Old Testament only, you guys are in trouble. How can you guys reconcile your belief? Because if there is no New Testament, then the Most High is a liar. That's what you have to face with. You're faced with that. If you say that there is no New Testament, you're basically saying the Most High is a liar. And you're going to have to reckon with that.
an agreement. You make an agreement, you put your X, you put your mark. So that's the symbol for a covenant. That's interesting. That's That's huge.
Huge.
Because you can read this, you can
New
read
covenant.
Bereshit this way as well. You can see Beit Resh is
At the beginning, he promised us a new covenant at some point. He promised us there's going to come a point in time where he's going to give us a new covenant. You Old Testament onlys, I'm telling you, guys are in trouble. Holding on to that old covenant of death, you're going to be destroyed by it.
Son, Aleph is God. The word, here's a Hebrew word, shin, yod. The word shai, there it is. Shai means gift in Hebrew. So you have the Son of God's gift, the cross. That's nice.
Now, listen, are you listening? In the Hebrew, in the beginning, this was told. The Son of God was going to give us a gift. His gift was the cross. And the fact that he freed us from death and sin via the cross matches up, right? Right? Yeah, I know. Y'all just going and down your bottle of melatonin tonight.
We've only scratched the surface. Anyway, so now we've got the Bereshit, we've got Bara, Son of God, created, and now we're moving to the third word of the Bible is Elohim, and this word is God. Now, there are so many names of God in the Hebrew that we miss all of them in English. I think in English we refer to him as God. It refers to him as Lord, capital L-O-R-D, and then it sometimes refers to him as capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D. You'll see this in your Bibles. But that's it. That's the three ways that we refer to him. Yet in Hebrew, it's, I don't know how many names, but well over 50 I could name. So maybe there's something special about learning it in the Hebrew that will tip us off to something about him. And the first mention of his name is in Genesis 1:1, Elohim. So if we look at it, and we can go with our pictures. Well, let's sound that out first. The Aleph, which is usually an A sound. I know I said it's a silent letter, but it's maybe he's referring to it as the silent letter because it's the one that's out front before the bait in Genesis 1:1. He's silent out there. He doesn't start the book with him. Perhaps that's what they mean. That would fit logically. So you have an A sound, you have Lamed, La, El, H sound. Here's a new letter we've got today, and the Lamed's a new one also. But Hey, it's an H sound. The Yud, we've already covered. It's a hand. I've already drawn it in, and the Aleph is the head of the ox, the strength. And we have the final letter here in his name, a Mem. And it's the M sound. So it's El-Ahim, Elohim. There's a little clever thing about Hebrew that this is how they do it. I don't know why, but when you pluralize a word in Hebrew, you put the M on the end. You've heard it before. If you go to church and you see a little cherub is one, but when you see all the cherubim, that's all the heavenly angels, or a seraph and a seraphim, or the other one is a goy. A goy is a non-Jew, a Gentile. And the goyim are the Gentiles. So it's interesting that God has chosen his name to end in M, the I am plural ending. He's letting us know he's more than one. He's one God, but there's a trinity he's talking about here. The word aloha is the word for Pharaoh, one Pharaoh. But he didn't choose that. He chose a form of that, but putting the M plural on it, Elohim. And let's see what it represents on the pictures. Okay, we have Aleph is the head of the ox, strength, power. Lamed, its picture is a shepherd's crook. Close enough. Okay. Oh! So sorry.
Yeah, come on, y'all. Laugh with me. Y'all already
A shepherd's
know, like I know.
crook.
That shit's funny. That's the Most High.
And together you have the strength, power, and you have of the shepherd. The strength of the shepherd, or the strong shepherd. This is El, God. That's his. That's one of his names as well. El, God. And we've talked about that. You heard it in Emmanuel. Jesus. The prophecy was that a baby would be born and he would be called Emmanuel. With us is God. El, God. And in the book of Ruth, Naomi's husband was Elimelech. There you hear El, God, Melech, king. God is my king, Elimelech. And these names are then prophetic in the story for what's coming. So here you have El. Now we do a Hey. Well, Hey, that's an interesting letter of their alphabet. It's the 5th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And in the number 5, I'm going to go ahead and draw here and then explain here. I think that's it good, yeah. I did it in red because it's a man, and the word for man in Hebrew is Adam, red. So, and notice his hands are up in the air. He's surprised, and the letter Hey.
For all you Esau's the white man folks out there, are we the people? Because if Esau's a white man because he's red, then that means the red people are them. They come from Adam, right? That's what that means. That means they come from Adam. That means Solomon and King David, we're heathens, right? That means we really aren't the people, and they are, and we're the ones trying to be something that we're not. You can't hold on to it all, you guys. You got to let go of the dumb fuckery. You know what I'm saying?
It looks like an open window. And so the picture represents, behold, you're going to see God revealed. He's going to reveal something. And it's always involves Hey and 5. It's very cool how it all fits together like this. But you'll see, let's see, the 5th time Noah's name is mentioned in the Bible. And it says Noah found favor or found grace with God. It's in fact the word Noah backwards is grace in Hebrew. Those two are connected. Anyway, so we have Hey represents behold, or something's revealed. Yud is a hand. We've talked about that before. Mem. Here's a new one. The Mem, its picture is zigzag lines. You can see we get the letter M from their Mem, their ancient Mem. But it represents water. And you can see, I guess, water. And so now let's look at his name and why he chose these 5 letters. Well, this one's easy. The first 2, and I put them in the blue. Why do I associate the light blue with God? Heavens. That's about the biggest infinity I can picture, and so that's his color. So here's the strong shepherd. That's God, El. And here he reveals himself. He reveals his hand on the waters. What he's saying is he controls the seas. And this name, Elohim, of all his different names, this one represents power and strength, God. He has other names, the Lord our righteousness, and the Lord our healer, and the Lord our provider. Adonai, Yahweh, Yahweh Yira, Yahweh Sidkanu. You hear all these other Hebrew names, but this one, Elohim, represents his power. And he's saying he's the strong shepherd who reveals his hand upon the waters. You can also look at it like this, because he's very clever. He'll spell it out more than once for you. This is a Hebrew word, Yod Mem. It's the word Yam. And the word Yam means the sea, like the Yam Suth, the Sea of Reeds. So here you've got sea. Here you have, another thing that Hebrew does is if the hey, it's also used for the word the. You'll see it in Genesis 1:1 here when you come through Bereshit bara Elohim at Hashemayim. The hey in front of Hashemayim is the Shemayim, sky waters. Here you see it again in the earth. The hey is the, Aretz is the land. So the land, the sky waters. And it becomes part of that. You'll hear it in when you say Rosh Hashanah, you're putting the H, it's the head, Rosh, Resh, head, Hashanah, of the year. It all fits together. Very clever. Very clever, this God we have.
Very clever, the Most High YAHAWAHSHI HaMashiach.
So, if Yom Mem, if that's Yom, Yod Mem, that means sea, and this, a hey in front of it means the sea. So, this is, El is God of the sea. He's spelling it out another way. Very clever. Hey, and what's really neat about this is this God, the name that he chose to represent himself here with meaning power. Look what else it shows, because he's got other sides to him, and he can. Remember, I told you about these have themes and sub-themes and plots and subplots, and they all twist and tie together and are interconnected. We haven't even gotten into the numbers yet. You see all these little numbers underneath? Each Hebrew letter has a number associated with it. I put in here, though, the Aleph is 1. Here's Aleph 1. I put him in red so you can spot him. He puts Aleph 6 times. There's no coincidence to anything he's done and anything he does. Notice he puts the Aleph third and third. Then he puts the Aleph first and first. Then he puts his Aleph second and second, pointing to the 3 persons of the Trinity. He's first person, second person, and third person, and he's all God, and he's in the heavens. Anyway, let's go back to Elohim in this last this translation, or another translation, or thing you can get out of it. We have Aleph. This is the strong, powerful shepherd. Okay? Aleph, remember, this is God's letter. This is God, the Lord, right here. So you could say the Lord is my shepherd. And hey, this is his outpouring of grace. He's revealing something. Look, the guy's surprised. Big stuff is coming. Blessings. And I'm not talking money. I'm talking peace, joy, eternal life, and who knows what else. But he's revealing something here.
Feeling something here.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Yeah. Psalm 23. He's hidden it in his name.
Yeah. Imagine that. Makes you want to run out and learn Hebrew, right?
Anyway, praise God. Praise God. Thanks so much for watching.
Hey, can you hear me, Israel? Can you hear me knocking out there? Y'all hear me knocking? Hey, I saw this. I watched most of these videos and I was like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. Hey, and we just getting cooking. I'm gonna get ready to cut this video off here in a second, but we're just getting cooking. My next one, oh boy, it is quite the doozy, right? We're ramping up. It ain't over. I know your mind is already blown and all over the bedroom right now, all over the space you're in right now. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't over. It is not over. All right. So I want y'all to stay tuned for the next one. Matter of fact, bear with me here about another 10 minutes. Let's carry this on another 10 minutes.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, peace on the Sabbath from your Dutch Uncle John. We also have the Magnum 44 permanent marker, a marker worthy to write an aleph. So, to make an aleph, it's actually composed of 3 other letters. It's composed of a vav, which is a slanted line, but the vav is usually upright. In this case, it's on a diagonal. Then we also have a yud, which is the smallest letter in the Hebrew alphabet, and another yud up above. And the 2 yuds connect to the diagonal vav. So here is your aleph. Now, the upper yud represents God.
Hey, look at his shirt.
Yud, it's the smallest letter to begin his name. It is his title, Yahweh, begins
Yahawah.
with a yud. We see it here in Bereshit. He's got it, and he has it here in
Keep your eye on
Elohim.
his shirt.
But this represents God in the heavens, the hidden, the above. This represents Yud, God, Yahweh, down on earth. Yeshua also begins with a Yud. And the Vav, we remember, represents a nail, and it would mean and. Okay? A Vav also, the Vav is the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. You'll notice that the 6th word begins with a Vav, and the Vav we said meant nail. But a Vav, because 6 always represents man, the Vav also will represent an upright man. And so here you see this diagonal. He's humbling himself before God. So the Aleph is the power. It's the strength. It's God. It's remember the head of the ox. He doesn't use this letter lightly. He begins the 10 Commandments with Aleph. He begins his name, Eya Asher Eya. I am who I am. He told Moses to tell the people. This is when he uses Aleph. He uses it here in Elohim. Aleph, Lamed, El. So we know very, very powerful letter. Okay, the word here Bereshit. You see, he does have an Aleph in there, but he didn't put it until 3rd. If this letter is so grand and so powerful, why didn't he begin his Bible with it? Instead, he began with a bait. And the bait...
Most High went out of his way to defer to his son.
A powerful marker, or a powerful letter. The bait, if you remember, was the house. Okay? And...
Stop
Beit is a house, and Beit also is the abbreviation for Ben, which means son of. Our second letter, Resh, we said was the head, a human head, and Beit Resh, this is Bar. Bar is the word for son, Bar Mitzvah, son of the law. When you're 13, you're now a man. You now have to follow the law. So this is Beit Resh, son. And now we have Aleph, son of God. We also have here a Shin. The letter Shin, well, couldn't do this very well, but it stands for El Shaddai. That's one of God's names, God Almighty. And the priest would raise these Shin figures above his head and bless the people of Israel. So you see it's sort of the W looking, and it's the sh sound. There's our yud, the smallest one. The yud, it represents a hand. Okay? And ta. Ta is a putting your mark, an X. It has the sound of the letter T. So you could use it to represent the letter T. I don't know if you can picture crossed lines or something. That would be a ta. So Bereshit, in beginning. And our second word, created or fattened or filled. It also begins Beit Resh Aleph. bara, son of Aleph, son of God. We move to the third word, Elohim. It begins with an Aleph. Notice the placement of his Alephs. Here, he puts it third and third. Then he puts it first and first. And then on the end, with Va'et and Haaretz, he puts it second and second. Notice it takes the first position twice, the second position twice, and the third position twice, all equally. This is pointing to his Trinity, God in three. So Elohim is Aleph and Lamed. And Aleph, we've said, represents the power, God, title. And Lamed, it is the tallest of the Hebrew letters. And a Lamed, its picto would be a staff that you would carry around. This is why kings would wear crowns. Picture the horns on the ox, the power, and they have scepters. And a scepter would be the Lamed. There's your Aleph Lamed, L. Okay? So, if we go on to, and remember, it was pluralized, so Elohim means three or more. Very nice piece of information. We come to the fourth word, et. This was the little word that pointed to the direct objects of the verb. So what was created? The heavens and the earth. The vav was the and. I will tell you something clever about the letter He. The He begins Hashemayim, and the He begins Haaretz. And there's a He in Elohim's name. And the He is the fifth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it represents, this is the one that they can't define, really. It's his grace, his breath, his He. Its picto is a picture of a house, and you see there's an open window. So just always remember, if you're talking about He, maybe open window. It means behold, behold, look. That's He. So, and here we have Hashemayim, which was plural, heavens, and Haaretz, the earth. There's one thing that I noticed here. He put this et in the center, Aleph Tav. And what would the Aleph Tav, why would he begin this little insignificant word that remember, it's non-translatable, but the Jews say you can't take it out or it loses meaning. What does the Aleph Tav? Well, let's look and see what it does mean. It's the Aleph, that's the head, and the Tav. What was a Tav? The Tav was a cross. So you have Aleph, Tav. You have the head, the strength, God on the cross. This word right here represents, and remember, Aleph is the first letter, Tav is the last letter. It's the first and the last, the beginning and the end. In Greek, the Alpha and Omega, as Jesus claimed to be. Very cool.
That's what we were here for on this video here, Yasharala. The beginning and the end, the first and the last. Check it out though. Check it out though. The first character of the language and the last character of the language. Literally a reference to the first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega. Literally. Literally. Right there in the Hebrew. When he said that I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, he wasn't lying to you. Israel, he didn't make it up. You want to tell me the Romans made this up? That's what you're saying? Man, that's fucking crazy. Man, I ain't gonna drag this on. The point has been made in this video very well, might I add. Like, it should be over. It should be end of discussion, right? Yeah, but we got another video coming up that's gonna cook up even more, man, and just gonna reveal a lot of things that's important for us to be considering and thinking about in this time. So again, I want to give a little shout out to creator of these videos, man, John Kostick. I'm not sure how he pronounces his name. You know what I mean? But he did the work, man. Get a man credit. You know what I'm saying? We fair used our way through this, man, for educational purposes. I hope you guys were edified and educated out there. I have the ability for my, to understand things. The Most High, when he gave me this, it was like Whoa, this is no small matter, Yasharala. This is no small matter. And ain't nobody talking about this. Well, that time is over with. It's time to kick up the discussion. Let's get it going. YAHAWAHSHI is in the Old Testament. He was literally foretold from the beginning. Literally in the beginning. What y'all think about that, Old Testament onlys? Like I said, go on and get your NyQuil and a couple bottles of melatonin. Have yourselves a good old party. Get yourself a good long lifetime supply. Your lifetime ain't that long, so you ain't got to worry about that. And you know, you're going to have to dose yourself every night because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to deal with it. All right? So with that said, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWAHSHI. All praise, honor, and glory is due. I send all my love, grace, peace, and blessings be with you all of the elect. I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you for hanging out with your brother today. Think about this, ponder it, spread this one around. We got to get this one out there. We got to get this information pumping because it's not pumping in the Hebrew Israelite community. It's time for that to change. YAHAWAHSHI in Genesis. Watch it and weep. Shalom.